Are you ready for cocktails and conversations? Are you ready for cocktails and conversations? Are you ready for cocktails and conversations? With your host, the unapologetic diva, Dr. G, the girlfriend therapist, Dr. Cortina Lewis, and the networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Happy Wednesday. Ooh, welcome to another episode of Herspiration Happy Hour. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G. I almost forgot my name.
This is Dr. Cortina Lewis, a.k.a. the girlfriend therapist.
This is Diana Richardson Philippus, your networking extraordinaire.
And this is Shay Walker, your coach of courage.
Okay, so ladies, really quick, Cortina, before you kick off with the drink, I got to shout out my Eagles for that Super Bowl win.
You better know it.
I was like, you know what? It's just Wednesday. It's still fresh. I mean, part of me wants to go to Philly this weekend because I know that.
Oh, it's going down. And Gilly having a party on Friday.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, I was like, I'm going to represent for the Eagles today. So, you know, they did. We whooped ass. It wasn't no regular little beating. Whooped their ass. And so that is something to be congratulated, you know, because I was so sick of them. Yeah, it was just nice. But okay.
It was funny. Last night we went to a University of Alabama admitted students night, right? So they were saying, you know, asking people in the crowd who were notable alumni. Well, you know, Jalen Hurts, he went to University of Alabama. So Morgan, she raised her hand and she was like, Jalen Hurts. And they was like, oh, you like football? She said, no, but he's cute. I don't think she was supposed to say that, but
that was honest.
Just him being an alumni, and that's one of the schools that she, you know, was accepted to and everything. So yeah, that was just a funny part of that. But to get us into, you know, Friday is Valentine's Day, so I had to have a drink that is reflective of this love period, whether that's love of a partner, love of self, love of life, whatever that is. And we are drinking on Love Potion. And so in order to create Love Potion, you want to put it in a martini glass, and you want to be able in a shaker with ice, you want to put a half an ounce of peach schnapps, 1.5 ounce of vodka, your choice. It can be flavored, it could be not. And then 3 ounces of pink grapefruit juice. You shake that very well, then you strain it, pour it into your martini glass, and you garnish with strawberries.
Might have to try
Love Potion. Oh, and if you really want to get a little fancy, you can put a little bit of pink or white edible glitter to make it swirly, because love is magical.
Okay. Yes. You know what? I actually have edible glitter upstairs.
I have a lot of it. I
have a lot of it.
When I'm making my drink.
Christmas, I made apple martinis. They were green. And so I had the green glitter with it. Yeah. It was nice. They was too strong though. Way too strong.
I had them in the bulbs. Martini.
You know, I had them in the bulbs, so they was really cute.
So yeah, that's what we're drinking on. So I hope everyone, you know, try it, see how it is. If you don't like grapefruit, try anything that's, you know, peach. You can get some passion fruit if you wanted to. Anything that has that pinkish color that it's going to give the drink. So
I'm glad you said that, because I don't like grapefruit, and I don't even really know why I don't like grapefruit. I don't know. It just has a weird like aftertaste to me.
Really?
Yeah,
I like grapefruit.
See, I never really liked like regular grapefruit, but pink grapefruit juice. Oh my God, I can drink the whole container.
I I haven't had. I don't know if or when I've had pink grapefruit juice. I
I
might.
ain't had no grapefruit juice in a minute now that we
know,
sitting here
right?
talking about it.
Is it
Y'all gotta
grapefruit?
go to the store and get some grapefruit juice.
Yes, 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 yes.
I don't drink juice unless it's going into a drink. Otherwise, it's water and coffee for me or tea. That's it.
All righty then.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I don't even, and I probably should drink more milk, but it's not, that's not, unless I'm eating cereal, I don't do that either. So, yes,
I'm not
that's it.
unless it's with
I
some
need
cookies.
vitamins. You know what? And I'm not a big cookie eater. I think that's it too. And I'm very particular. So if I eat a cookie, it has to be like right out of the oven. After it sits for a while, no.
Well, speaking of that, Sweet Tooth, I did this event over the weekend, and one of the exhibitors there, you guys, shout out to Confections. Oh my goodness. She had the most scrumptious. Well, the only thing that I got the pound cake and the red velvet cupcakes, y'all. First of all, I bought two of the pound cake slices, and then I bought a half a dozen of the red velvet. I ate one of the pound cakes. It didn't even make it out before I even left. Okay. I ate that right there on the spot. Then the next day I ate the pound cake. Can I tell you how many cupcakes are left? And really, I got the red velvet for my husband because he loves red velvet. Child, it's only two of them cupcakes left. And he said to me today, because he hasn't eaten them, and he was like, Diana, I was like, well, this girl can bake. She from Macon. Y'all.
I mean, maybe have a little bit at the conference.
I want her there. I need her there at the conference. I really just need her there. For me. At this point, I'm just selfish. I just need her on speed dial because I'm like, the way I eat a good pound cake, and I can make pound cake. Y'all, she shut it down.
Oh my God. Well, you had me at red velvet. I think if I eat cake, it's going to be a red velvet cake or pound cake, and preferably like a lemon pound cake. That's it. Other than those things, like you can miss me with that.
Y'all, the homemade butter ice, the buttercream icing.
Buttercream.
I'm not even a fan of buttercream. Let me start there. I do not like it at all. Her buttercream, y'all, I wish I had.
Well, you know what? Shout out her business then.
It is called Confections. Her name is Kawanda Pryor. Confections. Y'all check her out. This woman put her whole both feet up in them cakes, both of them, feet and hands, everything. She's anointed.
Now she's swimming around in the batter, in the cake batter.
She's swimming in the batter. Okay.
I'm glad you say that because let's talk about this Black History Month. Let's shout out some Black-owned businesses. When I was in Atlanta, when was that? This past weekend, because I flew home right before the Super Bowl. So I flew home Saturday night. Let me tell y'all, I visited two Black-owned restaurants. One was Poach Social. Man, that's when I took a picture with Black-owned, amazing food, and all the food was there, was good. The vibe was good. He was super nice. And then the other one was so pretty, which was called Mosa. Oh, that was absolutely, oh my God, it was so pretty on the inside. And it, sometimes aesthetics, you can get tied up. So, and the food's not that good. Oh no, the food was flipping good. And I mean, down to everything that I had. And I'm really particular. So my mom got me turned on to fried green tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
I tried them in different places. I've been disappointed in a lot, but let me tell you, this one had some like Cajun kind of sauce on it. And I can't lie, those would be two places I would actually go back to repeatedly, and not just because, well, most is just absolutely pretty. It's if you want to do photographs and make some content, that's a place to go. It's very feminine and pink frou-frou. It's the perfect. It's beautiful if you just did a Galentine's there. I can't even lie. If I lived in Atlanta, I would totally do a Galentine's there because it's so decked out in pink. But like I said, the bonus is that the food is freaking good. The service is amazing. I also like that they have a photographer that will come around and take pictures and give them to you in a frame. I got mine both in a frame and I asked for digital copies. Ended up not being able to pack the framed ones, so my mom has them. I probably won't see them anymore, even though they're mine. But it was super, super nice. And then for my sister's birthday, that's when I found Poach Social, which was not far from the airport, but kind of about 15 minutes from the airport. It was just good. It's more of like, to me, it's in like a college town, because there was a lot of, that was the other part, y'all. It was so many Black college, young men there having brunch. And I was like, look at the future. Come on now, look at the future. And they was just so it was so a mature crowd, even though they were college students. It was just like I said, it's a nice vibe. People go Poach Social. That's what's up.
Well, you know what? Since we giving shout outs real quick, I'm gonna give one more for the people here in Atlanta. And I didn't take any pictures while I was there on Friday, and I wish I would. I was caught up, y'all. I was caught up in the moment. It's called Apartment 4B in Buckhead. This spot, y'all, it don't open until 5:00. This establishment is one for the books. It gives loungy atmosphere. The food is bomb, but the atmosphere is even better. They play throughout the whole time all the 90s R&B. I wish I'm going back. So I'm gonna take some pictures and put it on there. The food is amazing. It's a Southern cuisine. Y'all, Apartment 4B. I was in there like, I ain't heard this song in a long time. Oh, I ain't heard this song in a long time. Oh, Jesus. It's sexy, it's grown, it's nice, the food good, and the ambiance is even better. So, and it's Black owned, just so y'all know. Apartment 4B in Buckhead, y'all. Go ahead and get your life and thank me later. Just thank me later.
So we got to go there then.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Well, I want to shout out a Black-owned business in Fort Lauderdale, Relentless Designs, and that is Relentless, spelled with a Z. They did my daughter's graduation fans, and I mean, like I just kind of like said what I wanted, and they came out better than I could have ever thought. So she's professional, quick. She sent me a what do you call those things?
The sample.
Yep. And then it was one picture. It's my fault because I never sent it to her. I said, okay, I knew it was late. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can I please switch the picture out? Nope. She's like, sure, just send it to me. Did it, came packaged, and I couldn't be happier with the finished product.
It's beautiful. I want mine. I want mine.
It's so nice. So if you ever need something, all of your graduation type of needs, party needs, any type of favors, Relentless Designs. The owner is Krista Wright King. I also gave her a Google review. That's how happy I was with her service, her personality, how accommodating she was. And sometimes people, they always want to talk about the bad experiences that they have with Black-owned businesses. I think this is very great that we are shouting out those businesses that we've had good interactions with.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah, that part.
I have three. Look, I have three. I'm excited about this. Okay? I'm super excited about this. Number one, the bando. If you love wings, like I love wings, like I get in the kitchen and I will come up with something for.
You talking about in Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah, I just posted them yesterday.
Oh my God. Oh baby.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's on MLK. It's on the south, so it's Southwest, but listen.
Oh, came right up.
The bando is absolutely the wings, the flavors, how they merge. I mean,
These are my top 5 least favorites.
Super unique. The other one, which I'm excited because Alton and I are going to be in Atlanta this weekend, and we're going to go have our Valentine's dinner at Marcus Bar and Grill, which is on Edgewood Avenue. Mwah. Eloquent. Very.
These are my top 5.
It's delicious. I've had it only once before, but I'm super excited to take him. And then the other one is Southern Queens on Memorial Drive.
How long y'all gonna be in Atlanta?
Just for 2 days. We're in and out.
2 days is not in and out.
Well, it's in
Weekend.
and out to me because I mean Friday we're gonna get on the road at probably 3 p.m. We're not gonna get there until night. We have all day Saturday, and then we'll be back on the road by 12 or 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh,
So
okay.
in and out, that's barely 48 hours.
So
Yeah.
Saturday, y'all going to dinner on Saturday?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you just coming to
Oh,
Atlanta.
you want to be on the reservation? We can do it.
Yeah, you just coming to Atlanta, and then you don't. I'll talk to you offline.
Did you say you wanted her to add you?
I'm gonna talk to her offline. I'm gonna talk to you offline.
Oh, you know what? By the way, it was so, just so y'all know, I think when I'm traveling around, it is always so nice when I get to see my sisters, all of them. And that's when I got to see Diana briefly this weekend, and we got to stop and have a little drink and a little eat. I didn't eat, but
I did. I was
you
starving.
you ate pizza and I didn't. So, as someone who
And
is.
can we talk about that lemon drop though? How delicious that lemon drop was. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, it was
Thank God
good.
I had a business meeting because I would have been in there lit. You hear me?
That part, and it was made by a black bartender. So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not going. I don't know what if the place is black owned, but I'll rep the the bartender.
Shout out the bartender.
Because I'm very specific, and so is Diana when it comes to that lemon drop. And when I told her I don't like it too sweet, and I don't like it too sour, and she medium bodied that shit. Like,
yeah, she did.
I was like,
yeah, she did that. I was like,
I would totally go back there just for her lemon drops.
And the pizza was really good. I don't think they're black owned, so whatever. But the pizza was good.
Well, it's Black History Month. I'm not shouting out anyone else.
Yeah, I'm not shouting them out. That's why I say the name. But the pizza was good.
Look, can we plan for a little slumber party? Like, can we just do a slumber party where we can play bartender and we
our resident.
Y'all know I'm a lightweight. I'll be asleep.
Yeah. Look, Cortina right there with the whole
second drink.
She be bartending. She be over there setting shit on fire.
She
or smoking it out or whatever.
I'm with you, Cortina. So what y'all don't know about me is that I was part owner of a bar in Atlanta, Metro Lanes and Games, Metropolitan Parkway for 10 years. And yeah, so I had the bar, he had the other stuff. And so, yeah, I'm pretty great at bartending.
We're just finding this out about you.
Right. Well, listen, I'm just full of surprises, but yeah,
too, because you could share that.
Absolutely. Yeah, Metro Lanes and Games, Metropolitan Parkway for 10 whole years. That was me.
So speaking of alcohol, which segues somewhat because I was told that I should cut back, which I really have, to help some of my symptoms. I really wanted to have I really wanted to have a conversation about women for women. And even if you're a man, so that you can kind of understand maybe what your wife, no matter what age, really, because I mean, it's happening earlier for a lot of women. Women are going into perimenopause in their 30s now, wondering why, and which is hard because you have some women who are waiting longer, especially in this age, in this day and time, waiting longer into their 30s and 40s to have babies, finding out that they're having issues having them. Some of them are going into perimenopause or menopause early, but nobody's really having those honest conversations amongst friends because they're just like, well, maybe I'm the only one going through it. I didn't feel like I wanted no medical. I mean, it's easy to find someone that let's get a GYN on here. I don't want to be so technical. I just kind of wanted to share amongst women, like personal things, like these are the things that we go through, and to encourage that if you are going through those things, that you should go and see a doctor. And so a doctor can get on here. There wouldn't be enough time because every woman and her symptoms are different.
Yep.
And so I go through something different than Diana. Cortina, are you even in that at all yet? Oh, okay. So you are too. Shay, what about you?
Oh, absolutely. I've been postmenopausal since 35.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, postmenopausal. Just really quickly, I was at work one day and literally passed out, hit the floor, woke up, and they had already done surgery. I was transported to the hospital, and they had to do emergency surgery. I woke up and the surgery was done. I had a huge fibroid. It weighed 5 pounds, 1 ounce. It had literally tied itself around my left tube, and it had started to constrict my small and large intestines. And so I wasn't able to have a bowel movement. I had been going to the doctor trying to figure out what was happening. I'm like, maybe I'm having severe constipation, whatever, but they did an emergency laparotomy. Like, I had 3 natural childbirths and had to get a laparotomy to remove it, but it saved my life. That it had started to rupture, and that's what caused me to pass out. So I've been postmenopausal since 35. Yeah, I've gone and I still get the symptoms of menopause. Like, I get hot flashes, night sweats. Sometimes one of the things that I am trying to conquer right now is having a low libido. So I finally started the hormone pellet. I started it last year just to give it a try, see how I was going to like it. I absolutely love it. It was a game changer. And so I even started having, cycles again, because I hadn't had a cycle in 10 years. Well, 9 years after the laparotomy. Everything just kind of stopped. And because of that, I got the backlash of all the symptoms, the hormonal up and down kind of thing, the weight gain, which is part of that weight gain, because your body is not functioning the way it should. Then another thing that it started to attack. This is how actually the vitiligo came about, because my body had been under stress because it wasn't functioning properly. So the vitiligo is, my body was trying to fight. It was fight or flight. And so what typically happens is your body will try to find a way to survive, like to prevent strokes or heart attacks and things like that. So the vitiligo actually saved my life. My hemoglobin had dropped down to 6, which is, it was 6. Wow. Blood transfusions, iron, 5 bags of iron, like all types of things were happening. They just could not figure out what was happening. And then before you know it, I passed out, woke up post-surgery, and Wow. So I get it. I mean, I think what happens, especially with, new married, almost 6 years, you're dealing with the morale. Like, I love him. I'm crazy about him. That's what mentally keeps me engaged. But if I was functioning on just feelings alone, like if it weren't the feelings and I was just basing it on my hormones being, we wouldn't be doing nothing around here. It'd be dry because like desert storm, because libido is in the garbage. But since I did the hormone pellet replacement, it's been very, very helpful. Things are starting to balance out. I've been able to lose the weight a lot easier. My metabolism is increasing, like all those things. So I highly recommend the hormone pellet if anybody is dealing with that.
Yeah, not desert storm though. God.
Oh yeah, desert storm. Like, who want it? Nobody. Nobody, baby.
That's me. Listen.
Just saying, but these are the things that we do.
I'm saying it though. Okay.
We do. I think because I don't know why. You guys know, like, I'm just outspoken about things, but I do realize that there are a lot of women that are ashamed or embarrassed to say, I'm just not motivated. It's not personal. It's just like, I'm not interested. But I've learned something about men also in this season too, and they don't recognize what's happening with their hormones either. They're running off very low testosterone. And so a lot of men are now having to get the supplemental testosterone. Things are affecting their thyroids and things of that nature, but it's definitely because of the food. Everything about our food quality has changed. These things are designed to attack our reproductive organs, unfortunately. And so we've really got to be mindful about your food intake. Our food is not like it used to be, where we had the folic acid, the natural iron, and all of these things. So we do have to find supplements, but you have to do what's right for your blood type. So y'all see, I'm passionate about this, right? Like, this is my jam. Holistic health is my jam.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
is. I really, I encourage everybody to definitely like eat right for your blood type. So you can identify the type of foods, but also research your food to make sure that you're getting the right supplement to go alongside the food choices that are good for you. Like some of us just eat to be happy, but as we get older, it starts to weigh on us heavily.
I
Yeah.
eat to be happy, but I also eat healthy. I think
Yeah.
that's only the only caveat that I do have with that. But I think for me, perimenopause is looking very different, and I knew my body started changing probably back a year and a half ago. The night sweats have been getting terrible, and the hot flashes. Like I could be sitting here, I'm hot, and the terrible thing is I I don't sweat everywhere. I'm like, I don't know why, it's just my neck and under my boobs. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm just hot. And I'm like, oh God, I'm just hot just around here. And I think because I don't really sweat anyway, like I can in 90-degree weather go for a run and Jay would be super soaked. And here I am, I done ran with him and everything. And it don't look like I worked out at all. But that's flashover would come and it's just here, and it's not noticeable to people, but it's noticeable to me where I'm getting up in the middle of the night, I'm wrapping up in a towel because I'm like sweating and I gotta, it's just been rough. And then I feel like, I don't know if it's just I have 1,000 things going on, but the mood swings have just gotten terrible right now, and that's more current, that, Diana. And my mood swings have just gotten terrible. um in terms of like sex drive, my mind wants it, my body is just like, it is not cooperating, and I'm exhausted, and it's just like I want to, but I have no energy to just go over that way. And to me, I feel like, okay, something's really going on. So it's almost time for my well woman appointment. I've had my lab work done. I just got to go see my nurse practitioner, which I love because she's holistic. She's been a medical doctor, but she can give me other things, but she'll tell me, here's what I recommend you do. And that's why I love going to her. But she's also very cognizant about making sure that I have other things that I have done from my primary care, that things that she doesn't do outside of GYN, that she say, you need to do these things and make sure you have those done. She is also the one that really truly taught me how to advocate for my health, because there are, if to me, I've been more cognizant about when I have lab work done, I look at my labs, because doctors will say one thing to you but don't tell you the full story. I can go in there and I can ask the questions, and sometimes it's like something else has to be wrong. I know something is wrong. So you're not going to just send me out here and say that, oh, you're fine. I'm not fine. And I know something is wrong. And so I'm grateful that she's really been stuck in my head about ensuring that I follow up, that I recharge, that I advocate for what's necessary, especially on the GYN side. And I say that because, and I believe I shared this before, a few years ago, I had, and that's really more than a few years ago now. It's been quite a while. I had, I always, go in for my waxes, get my little Brazilian, my legs waxed, my underarms waxed. And one time I just wasn't healing. And I'm known, I grabbed the mirror and I looked and I'm like, why is my skin turning white? It's not right at the top of the labia. And I'm like, oh, something's wrong. I go to the doctor and she's just like, oh, I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna need you to figure it out.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
Expeditious.
okay, you don't know what it is. I said, well, how about you just send me to the GYN? So, because sometimes you have to have referrals to go to a specialist. I said, send me to a GYN, because if you don't know what it is, and I don't know what the fuck it is, but I just know it feels like a yeast infection on the skin. That's what I would say. It was itchy. I get on there, the GYN looked at it and said, I know what you got, but I'm gonna have to do a biopsy. And I'm like, you know what it's like to get your labia cut in a day after you just ran there for work and then have to come. When I say it was the most painful thing ever, this bitch should have gave me stitches. I'm serious. I didn't get stitches, but she was like, oh, just put ice on it. I didn't almost walk for 2 days. Okay. It was traumatic for me. But I found out that I have something called lichen sclerosis, and and you find out from trauma to the labia, hence the ripping of the wax. brought about
Oh, I
a
was thinking
condition.
something else. I was about to say, what y'all over there doing? You got trauma, bitch?
No,
Look, she already said she got edible glitter upstairs. Like,
I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be
no,
cussing.
not
I'm
that
supposed
kind
to
of
be
trauma.
cussing. My bad.
No,
My
that
bad.
would be
Damn.
good trauma. That would
Oh gosh.
nah, hell no, that would be good trauma to the. I said trauma to the labia. What kind of trauma to?
Well, I'll tell you my story because go ahead, because once we get
Okay,
into the other
so,
side
but
of
what I found out was that
postmenopause.
yeah, but what I found out was that trauma to the labia, it can also lead to it makes me more susceptible
Susceptible.
yeah.
susceptible to labia cancer. So she's like, of course, I went back to my GYN or my nurse practitioner GYN, and she's like, no, you can't wear panty shields. There's no certain soaps down there. Now I can't do nothing down there. She was like, no depilatory creams, no waxes, no nothing. She said, if you got to shave, just use clippers. Yeah, but you find out a lot about your body that, and these are things that we need to have discussions about. And I don't know if it's, I mean, this came from a wax, but the things that I'm feeling now, it's like now I got to worry about. I'm hot as hell, and right now I'm getting hot in this sweatshirt. I'm hot as hell. Now I got to worry about I can't wax or do any of those things. So it's like there's a lot of things that if I would have known that I could potentially have something that would lead to cancer, way hell I'd have stayed doing it. However, there's a lot of women who go and get Brazilian waxes, and they should be well aware to know that there is something called lichen sclerosis. And I'm not saying everybody will get it or have it, but you never know what you have until it actually happens. And that came about just from trauma to the labia.
Funny that you say that about getting waxes because I can't get them.
Yeah.
It causes severe breakouts on my vagina area. I can't do it. I never could understand it. I'm talking about the last time that I did it, I was like, what is happening here? And they would always be like, oh, because you waited too long, because it would happen, then I wouldn't go for a while. Then it kept happening. They were like, oh no, it's just that, you have to come more often. I'm like, I'm not about to be having no bumps on my vagina. Like, she's pretty. Like, we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. Like, I can't have bumpy road down there. Like, she's pretty. We're gonna keep her pretty. So I have to literally, I shave. I'm just being honest. Look, I'm gonna be real about it. Like, I'm not having no bumps on my vagina. Like, that's just not gonna happen. But speaking of trauma, so that's the other portion or the other side of, well, postmenopause, right? I'm postmenopausal. I have been now for a year, and it's no fun. So when I say trauma, when you're like, oh, I'm not talking about, well, I was, because sex can be extremely uncomfortable. And I think that a lot of women that are going through this cycle when it first starts, right? Because I was one, I was like, something not feeling very comfortable down there as he, I'm like, well, hold up. Can you move? Wait, let's take it slow. Well, wait a minute. Well, I was about to get too graphic, but anyway, I go to the doctor, like, something's not right. It hurts. It literally hurts, and it can tear the outer portion of, the walls of your vagina, because it is so uncomfortable. There's no elasticity down there anymore. It goes, right? So those hormone pellets, or, they can give you the creams and things like that. It really, truly does help. And I think that these are some of the conversations that women, especially with a man, right? Or you don't necessarily want to tell him like, hey, she's dried up right now. There's nothing that we can do. You have to go get something. And some women just bear through it. They really do. Hence, can I say her name? I don't want to put her on Front Street, but she told everybody. Wasn't it Halle Berry that thought she had herpes?
Yeah.
Because she
found out it was perimenopause.
Right. and she was just perimenopausal. So here we are as women, knowing that we uncomfortable and still just doing it. Like, no, go see about yourself, go get some. And if you don't want to use the hormone cream, guess what you can use? Up into a certain
lube.
I don't use no lube. She's sensitive down there. I use
I said
coconut oil.
medical grade, like the same kind that you would get during a pap smear. That
Oh
lube.
no, I use organic coconut oil as well.
Oh yeah, coconut oil does.
And
Unrefined.
Girl, it's right here in my nightstand drawer. Like I keep a tub right there. Okay, never mind.
Unrefined.
Yeah, I went too far. It is refined, but yes, get you.
I keep it in my bathroom, but my nurse practitioner said that too. But I also had medical grade like lubricant, like you can get from the doctor that you have your pap smear. Like when you get a pap smear, I don't have no reaction to that. But I tell you, I was so mad when I ran out of that tube. I was like, and the only reason why I got it, you all, is because I had to go through pelvic floor therapy. And pelvic floor therapy, they give you a little wand so that you can, because my vaginal walls don't relax.
Dilators.
Yeah, and so I had to. That's what it's called. It looks like a little plastic small vibrator, but it's not. It doesn't do nothing. It's like literally like plastic, and you have to insert it into you. And then there's breathing exercises you do while you go left to the right, you go up and down or whatever. So I had the medical grade lube for that. I loved it. When I say that was like the best thing ever, I was using it for more than just my pelvic floor therapy.
There's so many different types of lubricant out there as well. So they just like there's so many hundreds of different types of condoms. You have to be able to find the one that works for you, right? So you have silicone base with a whole bunch of name brands. There may be one name brand that you can't particularly use, but you can use it in this name brand. You have the mix between water-based and silicone lubrication, depending on if you're using it in conjunction with toys, what type of toy you have, because you don't want to use silicone lube with a silicone toy because it'll break down the silicone. So just being mindful about when you're trying different lubricants that are out there, making sure that you don't just stop at like the first two, see how your body is responding to it and making it a part of your routine as it relates to the relationship. Because there's a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm embarrassed because I have to use lubricant, or my partner says something, or I want to be able to get naturally wet. That is the mentality of what society is saying, how you should be able to respond, which is really causing a lot of women not to be able to have pleasurable sex because they're so stuck in their mind about, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I got to be able to perform this particular way. And so from the beginning, even if you are wet, still having it as a part of the foreplay in the relationship. So even if you do need it, it's not an issue because it's always been a part of our play. It's always been a part of how we connect and come together. And so there are so many different things that people can try and explore to make how they view sex more pleasurable. And sex is not just penetration. So also expanding your mind on how you talk about sex, right? Because if we just say sex is penetration, well, there's a whole population of people that will never engage in sex. What if, I just had surgery and I can't? Does that mean I'm not having sex? What if I'm paralyzed and my penis doesn't work? Does it mean I'm asexual? No, it does not.
Well, so means your mouth works.
Well, even if that, but in relationships, you and your partner defining what sex is to you.
Yeah.
So
let me just say this: my husband, he has no problem with the coconut oil. He loves when I pull the tub out. Like, yay, the coconut oil has arrived. Let me tell you something. He loves it. So, ladies, help your man to get into whatever it is that you choose to use. It can be fun, And what man want? Never mind. I'm gonna stop.
No, I mean, I think it all really truly boils down to having those open, honest conversations with your sexual partner. I don't care whether you're married, whether you are single and have just a couple of different men on the side. I don't really care. I think it is just important for you to be able to have those very open conversations about your body. I
Yeah.
know I have been extremely guilty of, for a while, not saying anything about if it's hurting during sex. I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to take it. And then my thing is I'm rushing him like, yeah, come on, hurry up, because this is not pleasurable for me anymore. But I want to make sure that I please my partner. Is that the right thing to do? Absolutely not. So I say that, and I'm just being very open and honest that it's not a healthy thing, because now I'm sitting here hurting because I wasn't, more cognizant to say, you know what, let me just get up and grab coconut oil or anything else. But the other thing is, even if coconut oil works, if 2 days back to back, we ain't getting no more, because now it's like, again, I'm in pelvic floor therapy because my walls, my vaginal walls don't relax. They're very rigid. And so after a while, it like super hurts. And so now I'm in recovery. I'm like, no, we're not about to do anything. I need to skip some time. But I also know that that wasn't happening until I hit that perimenopausal stage, because it takes twice as long for me to loosen up than before. So it's like, okay, how do you make corrections to those things? First of all, you acknowledge that, okay, this is a problem. This is not going to go away. So now it's time for me to have a conversation with my doctor. And you have to be very open to go into your doctor and say, here are the problems. Bow, 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 so that they can make corrections to the symptoms that you are having, and also help diagnose you better, because there's nothing worse than going undiagnosed because you have nothing to advocate for.
Mhm. That's good. I would say so. Like, I went through this spell where, and as much as I love coconut oil and all those things, what started to happen, especially with the transition. So when I started the hormone therapy, the pellet therapy, when I got it, it was like the first 90 days or something, my body was adjusting to like how much medicine they put in the pellet, right? So I started getting backlash with UTIs, and they were happening all the time. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So we remedy one thing, but now we're offsetting something else. So then I realized it was the brand of the coconut oil that we were using. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I got to find something different here, because just because it's coconut oil, like be mindful. I'm super sensitive to any and everything. If I go get my eyebrows, you know how they try to do your eyebrows? Yeah. Oh, it breaks out. But that happens to me everywhere. So I'm not a person that can use bubble bath, all that stuff. Some people can use Victoria's Secret bubble bath and all that stuff. I just can't. Any little thing will break me out. And so that was happening. I started getting the UTIs after the hormone pellet. Then I realized, oh, wait, it's the coconut oil. So then I said, wait a minute, let me find something different. So then I decided to research and make my own oil. So now I use almond oil, and I mix it with a little bit of coconut oil. And you get the big jar, Diana. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm running out now. Like it's down here. I'm scraping at the bottom now. It's real good. It's lovely over here. Libido working.
Right.
I have a question. I do have a question. Are the pellets natural, or do they contain any kind of synthetic hormone?
No. So it's literally just one pellet, and you insert it, and it never comes out. It's going to be in you for the rest of your life. So it's not something, yeah. And then so I have to take progesterone at night, 1 tablet a day. I'll have to take it for the rest of my life, simply because I'm postmenopausal and there's no going back now. I'm here now. And so I have to take the progesterone every single night, 1 tablet a night though. But it does help me. I used to have restless night, like restless sleep. I couldn't sleep, get comfortable. When I would fall asleep, I would wake up because I'm hot, my temperature, like you start to feel like you're in an inferno for 60 seconds and all of a sudden you're freezing. Like that was just, I was going through that. And then the other thing, what I noticed is that prior to me deciding to really attack this whole libido conversation, it took me to really just be honest with Alton, because it starts to turn you off. Like you don't even want to have sex because you're so uncomfortable, whether it be, whether you're physically just sore because it was painful the last time you did it, or you're just simply uncomfortable because of the hot sweats. You don't want nobody touching you, that kind of thing. Like, and I'm very cognizant of, like, I shower at night, I shower in the morning, but if I'm laying there in a puddle of sweat at night, I don't want you on me. I feel disgusting. I don't want to give you no sweaty coochie. Like, wanted to at least be fresh. But luckily, he just loved me. He'd be like, baby, I'll take you how, like, I just want you. So however you want to give it to me, give it to me. So
but get into that part though, Shay, because that's another one. The sweating and the hormonal imbalance that causes funky.
Yeah. That thing is serious. Yeah.
It's real, y'all. It is. It's not nice. And I'm tired. I'm sick of it.
So the black, like I found, like after
times.
researching, I think I sent you the message, Pam, like black cohosh, it is a woman's best friend.
Yeah.
It's all natural, and it is something that will absolutely pleasantly just help you find a nice subtle balance between figuring out, you know, your diet and all those other things that can contribute to you having a healthy, you know, just healthy hormonal balance. But black cohosh is a girl's best friend. It absolutely controls those night, like those hot flashes and the night sweats. But like I said, and there's this other one. So I found, and I am not
it's bona fide because you sent it to me.
But yes, the Allura. There's a probiotic by Mag Allura, and they have, like, it's by women, and they created all of these all natural supplements that addresses vaginal dryness, that addresses UTIs, yeast infections, because a lot of women get recurring yeast infections. It can be from simply eating too much sugar in your diet. It's not something, a lot of women suffer from BV. BV is a part of being in menopause. And so just figuring out what it is that you're doing, like, be okay with researching, because everything, we can make all these recommendations. We can say coconut oil, but the one you get versus the one I use ain't gonna work for you. Like you said, the medical grade lubricant, guess what? It swells me up. I can't use it. Even when I go for my well woman exam, they can't use that on me because I cause this vaginal swelling, and I stay swollen for like 3-4 days. And then after the swelling goes down, it's sore, it hurts, like it's painful.
You have an allergic reaction to it is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but see, and they say it's like there's nothing in it. It's literally just jelly, like, but
it's water. It's supposed to be water based.
Yeah, I can't use it. It doesn't work for me.
When I say medical grade, but by the way, I say medical grade because I got it from the medical doctor. I'm not saying, oh, it's literally medical grade. It's the lubricant that they give you when you're going through pelvic floor therapy, and it was a part of my therapy. I just say medical grade because it wasn't over the counter, so I don't know what to call. I guess I would say it wasn't even prescription. She just gave it to me. She said, "Here."
She probably had samples of it that she could give you to help you.
Gave it to me and said, here's what you use, so that I didn't have to have it. Had to go try to find one, and she didn't want me to have one because she knew I had lichen sclerosis, and I cannot use a lot of things. Soaps, just no nothing down there. I can't even wear a panty shoe.
But sometimes women have to also. Sometimes it's good to seek out medical providers, because you may even find out you have a tilted pelvis, which could cause pain during intercourse, right? You also have to look at certain, sorry, I got distracted. My dog came in. Certain positions that fit what's happening, with you and your partner. Sometimes partners are more girthier, sometimes they're longer, so certain positions are not going to feel as comfortable as others. So those are also things, part of the exploration with us, exploring different types of positions so that we can feel what feels good to me, what feels good to you, what feels good to us. And that's also a part of the penetration type of body mapping. Does this pressure feel good? Does that feel good? No, I don't really like that too much. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, how can we recreate this feeling, but not necessarily in that position? And so that's a part of the exploration that you can do with your partner, so that you can expand the things that we like to do. Because let's just say you only have two sexual positions. They both hurt. When it comes time to have sex, you're going to be full of anxiety. You're not going to want to do it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel like a chore in your mind. You're going to be like, I don't even feel like doing this. Just get it over with. Just hurry up. But if we have 10 in our toolbox, but these two I don't want to do, so I have 7 good ones, the likelihood of you feeling anxious when it comes that time, guess what? We don't even have to do these two because we have so many other things that we can engage in that helps me to increase the pleasure that I feel and the actual desire for me to want to fully engage in this interaction with my partner.
Can I
I
also
was
ask
just
you
going to
a question?
touch on that really.
I'm-
Sorry, one real quick,
I had a
Pam,
question. Okay, go ahead.
because I just it's in that same vein. So when you say, like creating an atmosphere where the woman, it makes us want to have sex, right? Even before the actual penetration. So when you think about the incorporation of, I like to call them pleasure toys or whatever. When we're on this journey and we're anxious because we're like, oh, it hurts. And, we may have the coconut oil and we may have something that can help, but we're still feeling that anxiety, right? Because once you feel that pain, those that know. You know what I'm saying? You're like, in your mind, it's like, when it's time for finish, like, ooh. So what would you say about, incorporating toys into the mix?
So if we're talking about, so I wouldn't even bring toys in it and yet until I'm dealing with the mental part of it. Right. So I want to be able to desensitize my mind to the feeling of getting anxious. And then I might want to do some exposure. So like, okay, when I think about the idea of sex, where's my anxiety? If I'm at a 10, okay, what's going to bring me down? What's going to bring me down? When I think about the anxiety of sex, where am I now that I've been able to desensitize myself and do that exposure? Then I bring in, okay, well, let me see how I feel about just being by myself and using sex toys. Okay. That's the dog with his dog toy. Oh my God. With her dog toy. I apologize. So being able to think about it from that standpoint. And then when you're bringing in toys as well, different ones, having variety. There may be some that you look at where you're like, no, I'm not going to use that. But then you actually use them and use them correctly, because there's a lot of people out here using sex toys incorrectly and not the way they're supposed to be used, because it's just like, oh yeah, maybe this is built like this. And some of you may be saying, what do you mean incorrectly? There's so many functions on these sex toys. And so you may be using it in one function, but it has 30 other functions that you're not even accessing. And so you're like, yeah, this doesn't work for me, but you haven't even given it 1% of what the possibility is for this particular toy. So that's a whole nother issue. But I would say start with your mind. Something else is sensate focus, just a way to connect with your partner, and slowly even caressing your own skin to see, okay, what feels good, having your partner caress your skin, and not the focus be on penetration. The focus is on connecting physically, not the penetration. And then when I'm thinking about, oh yeah, we're going to connect, if my anxiety, even when I'm thinking about us disconnecting, then we move to the next phase. All right, now let's put penetration on the table, right? And depending on the relationship, this could take a week. It could take 3 months. It just depends on where you are with your anxiety and how frequently it comes up and how often you are actually engaging in the practice so that your anxiety can come down. Because I tell people, it's a journey. You can't just half-ass it like, yeah, we're going to try it, but we're not really. Because I say, okay, well, how important is this for you? Because it's not about your partner. It's also about your pleasure. Your pleasure is the most important. And so if you are half-assing it, you just don't really care about it, right? And the reason why initially why you might not care about it is because historically it hasn't been as pleasurable as you would like it. It's painful, it's dry, it doesn't feel good, it's hurtful. Then I got to go wash up. I just took a shower. I don't want to have to go take another shower. It's a lot of work that's involved around it. So also shifting the mindset, right? And then timing, thinking about that as well.
That'd be me.
Yeah, when your man wants you to be a rodeo, he wants you to be doing flips and dips up in the piece. Y'all sisters, if you know, you know. You be like, but I just want to just be normal.
I just want to do it. Just get on,
Normal.
Just come on. Just come on.
get on
You
and get
want
on.
one leg over there.
Sometimes
One
you just
leg over
want it
there.
with
I'm
scissor
like,
hands. Like, can we just scissor? Can we just, because I'm just, that's like, can we
Ooh,
just,
that's scissor.
can we just do
Oh,
this? Like, can we just do that and good night? You know, but
I like that.
Why
That's
can't we
one of
just
my
use
I'm
the
favorites.
just, I'm
helping
just
hand?
being,
And good night. Good night.
but you know what though? Like seriously, we can't shy away from how important communication is though, because that's a true, like that's real intimacy. Wanting to know, because we could assume, this is the thing about assumptions. A lot of people assume what the person wants, and that's all wrong, right? But until you have the real conversation about sex and what pleases you, even talk about your fantasies and all those things, it's so important to understand what intimacy means for you, but your partner as well, and share it. Make sure that you're on the same page. Be open to whatever it is, because I mean, on an off night, maybe I'm not here tonight, and maybe, you know what, we can substitute just by giving you a little got 10,000, like whatever that looked like. You know, maybe I'm just saying, you know, whatever that looks like for you and your person. But it's important to find that sweet spot, so you know that, you know what, if I just need to get you over the hump. What is that thing that I can just do that's going to get you what you need until we can get to tomorrow? I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, you have to identify that. I'm so glad. Like, I learned true intimacy, oh man, about 7 years ago. Just understanding it for me. I went to a therapist, and she had me to go dumpster dive in my emotions to figure out what satisfied me, because I was in a marriage for 16 years and had never had an orgasm. And like, I didn't even realize that was, like, I didn't have 3 kids post this, like, and never had really truly experienced an orgasm. And that was like, wow to me. I thought that I was doing and never had done it. And so learning what that was, learning what pleasured me was important. And now I'm able to communicate it and feel safe enough to say, hey, well, you know what? Don't assume because you lick it like that's going to get me there. No, I need for you to go a little bit to the left, go down a little bit, and then take a little, like, do your head like that. Give me a little head tilt and get me over there. And then I'm good. We'll get there in 60 seconds. You know, like, but you really got to, like, and just everybody think, okay, when you're doing oral sex, that it's just one way. No, because the way that you've been doing it with your partners before ain't gonna work for the person that you're with. You really need to go dumpster dive into that thing and identify what pleases you, so that I can please you. I don't want to have a sexless marriage. That's not what I want. And I definitely don't want to have to endure having someone that is not satisfied at home, and, you know, it's easy access outside in the street, because what you ain't getting here, somebody else is willing to do it. You know, you really gotta be open to being intimate, having the intimate conversation.
But also not being embarrassed. Also not being embarrassed when you are trying, because that's what holds a lot of people from communicating as well. Like, maybe they think I should already know this. And if I'm asking questions or asking them what they like, well, everybody's body is different. It doesn't matter what it is. You can have the man who done pleased 3,000 women. He might not be able to please you, because your body composition is different. So also a part of that pleasure and body mapping is that you like the way I do this. Okay, you like the 2-hand or the 1-hand? You like the extra spin or the not spin?
You want a little
like, what is it that you want?
Thing, or you just want it normal? How you want it?
What is it that you that because some individuals, you know, like it when you massage their scrotum as well. Some people don't like that. Some people like when you put your hand on their perineum. Some people do not like that. So it really just depends on who you are with, who your partner is, and what they enjoy.
And then on top of that, remember, it's not just us that body changes. Like, our bodies change, their bodies change too. Absolutely. And so what they used to like, they may not like today. Yeah, they may have enjoyed it last year, but that don't mean they like it this year. Like we're constantly changing, and we can't be selfish in understanding that they too have hormones and they're changing also.
Yeah.
And you
that's true.
also have to look at when you're going through different health challenges, right?
Yes.
Certain, I get a charge. My legs cramp up like crazy. So there are certain ways with my leg, I can't do it no more because we both gonna be crying or laughing because I'm gonna be like, stop. I can't. No.
And I got a big bladder. I will pee all over you in a minute. Like hit it left, and it's coming down. What we doing? I'm just saying.
You might need to do pelvic floor therapy. You might need some help.
Like I literally just got the
script.
Yep, absolutely. Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. Because I will pee in a minute.
And we work very, because sometimes you may have like uterine or bladder prolapse, right? Where that could be, I'm not saying that's you, Shay, but I'm just saying for other people, and they might not even be aware of it. So it's like, why is this acting like this now? Like, what is going on with me? And so strengthening those pelvic muscles sometimes as well is good. You can even go see a pelvic floor therapist, let's just say even for a few sessions, and then because they're going to give you exercises to do at home in order to be able to strengthen that. So sex therapists, we work very closely with pelvic floor therapists because sometimes we're and pelvic floor therapists are actually physical therapists that have a specialty in pelvic floor medicine. And so
we have had it. You can go back and watch. We've had Dr. Penny Nazari on our podcast a few times talking about pelvic floor therapy, and she broke it down. She pulled out the pelvic and everything, so she can show you. We're going to have her back on for an update, but she's been on a couple of times because I didn't know about pelvic floor therapy. And let me tell you something, quite honestly, you know who really knew about pelvic floor therapy? I had to hear from a white woman. Black people are not really, we're not privy to some of the therapies, but I had someone that told me, and I've been sharing it with the masses. So I did not know sex therapists and pelvic floor therapists worked hand in hand.
like this. Yeah. It's a good Black one here, right here in Central Florida.
Hey!
Actually. So
come on.
Most of my clients are Black.
Right.
So seeing, Black pelvic floor therapist and somebody else that I work closely with, she's probably sent me maybe like 6 clients so far. She's an OBGYN. And so being able to have those conversations, be like, you know what, I think you need to go see this person. So when you are a professional in these type of medical fields, even though the jury is out as it relates to therapy being part of the medical field, having a community holistic approach to different things and having trusted professionals within your repertoire that you feel comfortable with having answers for and resources for your clients. Because just imagine if I was just a sex therapist out here willy-nilly by myself, the clients might be missing the other piece of the puzzle. I might emotionally be able to connect, but my body ain't working. So this therapy that I'm using, I need something in tandem with that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we're gonna do a round table really quick, just dropping a quick gem. That we can. Already? I know we're over. Like
we're
just
over. Getting good. It was.
I know we were just getting good. However, I do want to keep in mind the time, and it's like I said, this conversation was definitely so needed. I just want to, any last, quick 10 seconds that that you can share with women who are watching so that they can better understand their bodies, understand that they are not alone in this, or any kind of tip that you can drop. Shay, we'll start with you, plus tell everybody where you can be connected at.
Absolutely. I would, we can say, talk to your spouse all we want. However, it's super important to identify what your needs are first. Search within first and get comfortable, accept where you are, accept what you need, and then allow yourself to get to that space so that you can feel comfortable talking to your partner about what your desires, when it comes to intimacy. And then the other thing is Black Cohosh. If anybody is dealing with hot flashes, I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever, Black Cohosh. And you can find me on Instagram at The Coach of Courage. And you can always contact me through my website, www.thecoachofcourage.com.
All right. right. And Miss Diana, what do you have other than that big tub of coconut oil by your bed?
So, well, I'm gonna be the spokesperson. So, but no, what I will say, ladies, is that perimenopause, being postman, it's natural. It's something that you're going to go through, and so stand in it and know that it's okay. It's okay, and listen to your body. When your body is showing these the hot flashes, the night sweats, listen to yourself. And might I add, in the same vein
Kofi?
as no, not Kofi,
No.
Shay, is that there are holistic ways to deal with these symptoms. You do not have to go and get put on hormones, and there's a holistic way to do it. And I would personally say, try it. Try it and see what works for you. There we are, all a village together out here. Us perimenopausal and menopausal, I mean postmenopausal women. It's all right, girl. Life is still good. Okay, it is still good. So I am Diana. You can reach me at Diana Richardson Philippus on all platforms, as well as what was I getting ready? Oh, empoweredwomenempower.com. That's it.
Right. Dr. Lewis.
I would say, to piggyback off what Shay was saying, sometimes there are people that negate the impact of their past and traumas that may be barriers to them being able to fully get comfortable with the sexual side of themselves. That could be religious trauma, that could be sexual abuse, that could be a past assault, that could be the rigidity of how they were raised and it was never talked about, so they never got comfortable with talking about it. So being able to reflect back on your own life to figure out if I'm having troubles or struggles right now, what from my past or present is adding to the challenge of me being able to be honest with myself and then be honest with my partners or partner. So that's what I would say. Another thing that I would say is you can get the Sex Unveiled cards if you want to be able to increase communication about wants, needs, and desires with your partner. It's the card game to keep communication sexy. And so, yes, so you can visit me at Sex Unveiled on all social media platforms, and you can also follow me at The Girlfriend Therapist on all social media platforms.
Okay, so really quick, I would just say that I was sharing in our group chat that I love the Sex Unveiled cards. I used them when you first came out with them, and I learned a lot about Jay that I did have no clue about. So the cards work because it helped us connect on a much deeper level. It opened up conversation that we definitely would have never had. And so if you ever want to be able to either sexually explore the things that you don't even know that your partner is into because they just might be feeling some kind of way, and the way that you have them set up is like, it's like, okay, maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'm absolutely against it. And, oh yeah, I'm open to. And so they really do work. And so I would definitely say, get those cards. Because they are an eye opener for your relationship and an opener for communication, especially if you don't really know how to gauge it. And I think you also learn yourself what you yourself may be open to, because it's never really been on your mind, but you might be like, oh, I never thought about that, but I would try that. Would you try that? And you might find that you both are at a place where you both say yes, that you're open to some things.
Right.
So on that note, I think the only tip that I would say is constantly advocate for your health and listen to your body. Your body is going to speak to you, and don't wait until it's so bad that it's speaking to you to where you've ignored a lot of these different signs. Go to doctors. That's why you pay for medical care. Even if you don't pay for medical care, don't shy away from it. Just be like, you know what, I'm going to have to figure out a way to work through it, because prevention is key to understand. Prevention is key. I would just say that all day long. Prevention is key before it gets bad. And you don't want to calm before a storm. You want a prevention so that the storm don't come. You can reach me on all social media platforms at IAMDRPGURLEY. I am Dr. P. Gurley, and I always spell it out because people see girly all kind of different ways. So Yes, I am Dr. P. Gurley on all social media platforms. We are always so grateful when you come out and hang out with us and interact with us. And we're always grateful. So, until the next time, we might have to continue this conversation until next week.
I feel like we might need to.
Look, we got our residential sex therapist in the house, and I didn't even get a chance to ask my question. So I'm going to have to reserve that for another time. But I know it's okay. It's okay. But it is one of those very deep questions. And just so y'all know, because we're going to have to carry this conversation, I do think that it's important to know when is the best time to start understanding your body. And I don't know if someone has those conversations with you. Some people might feel like, I might be like, oh, not until you're in your 30s, but I didn't really truly learn my body or even explore porn until I was in my 30s. And I felt like I wish I would have known my body sooner. I would think I would have thought of sex differently. So I would like to have the conversation is there an age where you should start really truly experimenting with your likes and as it pertains to sex. I say that, y'all, because I don't care what anybody say. I'm the best I've had because I know my body.
I know that's right.
And nobody can take that away from me because I know my body. So if things are not pleasurable, I can make them pleasurable. So but again, I did not learn that until I was in my 30s. So I would like to explore backwards of what I've missed. And I think that conversation need to be had for the younger generation that's coming up.
The
Especially
parents have to make that open for them. Right?
not even parents. I'm saying even after 18. I mean,
no. What I'm saying is because my mindset is my parents are okay. They talk to me about pleasure. They promote a sense of knowing your body. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Right?
So yeah, see, this
So
is
you're starting as young. Okay, you did that. Was it enjoyable? Where it's not a condemning, oh my God, I gotta have this is bad. Where it's no, I wasn't really into that. I don't know. What do you think? And so you started from there. So even when they become full grown adults, it's not a thing of when should I get into it. I've been into it since my teens, even if it was self-pleasuring.
See, y'all about to drag this out. Look,
I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna. Okay, so
we're gonna tune in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to because
we're gonna tune in next week because we do want to have this frank conversation, not just for young adults, but we can swing it back to parents who are going to be parents who are parenting young adults. And I think this conversation is important to be carried on. So we've talked about the pause that all of us are going through, but I think we all started out where sex was really good and sex was misunderstood, and
No, I understood the assignment.
Okay.
I always understood the assignment with sex. I'm very sexual. Well, maybe not no more. But
I'm not saying I wasn't sexual. I'm saying that my reason for sex might have been different. And so
would have been different, yeah.
It would have definitely been different had I had a different insight. So we're going to definitely have the conversation for young adults and people or parents who are parenting teens and young adults that we just don't really have those conversations about. So you know what, you always see us the same time, same place next Wednesday. Y'all, cheers.
This is Herspiration Happy Hour.